the first thing. Next thing, Masoret Siag LaTorah. Protection to your Torah is the oral Torah. Protection to the 5 books of Moses, what Hashem Yitbarach said from his own mouth, is the oral Torah. You know, the funny thing is about the people that hate Orthodox Judaism, whether it be the Reform or the homosexuals or the conservatives or the Messianics or the outright Christians, they all have, or the Karaites, if they still exist, Bechlal, they all have a common hate. They all hate the oral Torah. All of them. They say we believe in the written Torah, but the oral Torah is rabbis. We don't follow it. The funny thing is that we don't know how to do any mitzvot without the instructions of the oral Torah. We don't know how. It says keep Shabbat. What do? You keep it in a cage? You keep it in a closet? What do you keep? Where do you keep it? How do you keep Shabbat? It says late tefillin. If you follow the literal, then you put tefillin over here, between your eyes. But according to halakha, you have to put it over here. And scientists confirmed that when it says between your eyes, it literally is between your eyes. Where? Because the actual eyes are over here. I saw a picture recently of one of these messianic idiots who did not like the oral Torah, but he still wants to lay tefillin. He still wants to lay tefillin. So he made tefillin by himself. He didn't follow. There's over 1,000 halachot for tefillin. 1,000 halachot for tefillin. It's not 1, 2, 3, you got a piece of leather. It takes a long time to make them, a lot of effort, a lot of halachot. Kosher tefillin, you're not going to get for a couple $100. It's going to take some money. But it's a lifetime investment. It's your direct line with Hashem Yitbarach. People want to spend $100,000 on the car, but when it comes to tefillin, they want to get bar mitzvah tefillin for $250. Yeah, but you have a $100,000 car. Spend $1,000, $2,000 on tefillin. The car, you give it back in a couple of years, or it's worthless anyway in a couple of years. It goes down in value the minute you lost 30% of the value the minute you left the car lot. You bought it for $100,000, by the time you left the car lot, it's worth $65,000. You lost $35,000 just leaving the car lot before you even completed a mile. So instead of just losing $35,000, just spend $1,000, $2,000 on a nice, decent, kosher pair of tefillin. Not the bar mitzvah tefillin for the kid who doesn't know Aleph Bet yet. Real tefillin costs a couple of dollars, but it's not your cost, not $100,000. It costs $1,000, $2,000. No, it's too much, it's expensive, it's this, it's that. So this guy also said it's too expensive, it's this, it's that. I don't know him personally, I just got a picture of him, of somebody that knows him. Somebody took a picture of him wearing his talit, which he bought from a store, but wearing his tefillin. His tefillin, for anyone who wants to see the picture, I'll show it to you after the shiur, it's tefillin like this. They're this big. So you have this guy with tefillin this big on his head. Mamash, it's like the most ridiculous, ludicrous, biggest mockery of the kedusha of tefillin in history. Why? No, all Torah. He decided to follow. He said, there's a box, goes on your head, I'll make a box. He took a carton, he put it on his head. You should put him inside the carton. Sell him in a deli maybe with the Coca-Cola. So, Masoret, Siag Torah, Masoret. The Masoret is our history, our oral Torah. That's everything. That's everything. No oral Torah, no nothing. So all of these Christians and Reforms and all of these different people that hate the oral Torah, the interesting part, you tell them you keep Shabbat, it says it's written Torah. Because no, that's oral Torah, how to keep it. Okay, I'm like, oh, so what do you actually keep? What do you keep? They all keep the same mitzvah. Do you know the Reform, the Conservative, the Messianic and the Christians and the Catholics all agree on one mitzvah. Who can guess which mitzvah that is? No? Huh? No, they're talking about Christians also. Christians don't celebrate Hanukkah. Shabbat, they don't think it. One guy says it's Friday, the other one Saturday, the other one Sunday. No, come on, you've been coming to my shurim for a long time already. What's the world? What's the god of these fake people? Money. So what do they agree on? They all agree you have to give 10% of your money. They all agree on maaser. Everyone agrees you have to give money. You go to a church, if somebody doesn't give maaser, hey, you're a sinner. What do you mean a sinner? The guy next to him that gave maaser just murdered 6 people for the maaser. No, he's tzaddik. He's righteous. He gave maaser to the church with the 50,000 people. Yeah, but he murdered 6 people. Yeah, but he did Teshuva. How did he do Teshuva? He said some guy died. Yeah, the 6 people he killed died. He goes, no, somebody else also died. Just give the maaser, give the 10%. All of them agree you have to give money. That's what they all agree on. Why? Because it's all fake. It's all fake. It's all business. If it wasn't for maaser, there would be no churches. There would be no reform. There would be no conservative. There would be nothing. Why? Because none of them actually believe anything they say. They don't love God. They love money. That's why the only mitzvah they connect to is money. To connect to Torah, a person needs to understand what it means to be holy. In the Gemara, Moed Katan, it mentions, and also in a different one, I think it's Baba Mitzia, Baba Kama. Baba Kama, in Moed Katan 25a, and also in Baba Kama 17a, it talks about King Chizkiyahu. King Chizkiyahu was known as a very, very holy man. To such an extent that when they buried him next to a Sefer Torah. They buried him with the Sefer Torah. They said, him and the Sefer Torah, same thing. Chizkiyahu, Sefer Torah is holy, Chizkiyahu is holy. Never again was this permitted. But with him, he's as good as the Sefer Torah, they said. Why? He put the sword into the ground. He says, whoever doesn't leave everything and starts learning Torah full time, we'll have to deal with the sword. Hashem said, he's going to take care of Parnasah. So let him take care of it. I believe it. Hashem said, he's going to take care of the enemies. I'm going to take his word for it. Your only responsibility is to go learn Torah. And that's why in his generation, in his lifetime, even the 6-year-old boys knew the entire Mishnah by heart. And the Mishnah of that time is much, much bigger than the Mishnah of our day. It's not just 6 parts, drastically bigger. Some say it was as much as 700 parts, not 6 parts. So this Chizkiyahu was given tests. Was given tests in his life to see just how far he got. In the Gemara, Masechet Sanhedrin, page 95, it says a maaseh, it says an event that occurred where Sancheriv decided that he wanted to destroy the world, meaning to put everything under his control. And there's this city called Jerusalem that he hasn't gone to yet. So let's get to it. But he heard a lot of things about this city. So he made sure to arrive to this city with his full army. Even though Jerusalem, anyone that's been there knows, is not exactly huge. Israel as a whole is not exactly huge. You look at I think all states in America are bigger than the state of Israel. It's the size of New Jersey. So, the best case we can get to is being the same size of one state. The rest of the states were smaller. So, even more so with Jerusalem, one of the cities within Israel. So Sancheriv came with his entire army. Now his entire army, we're not talking about his entire army is 5-6 people. According to Chazal, where is this? Don't misquote the numbers. Here we go. According to Chazal, it was 260 ribo. 260 ribo is 2.6 million soldiers. That's how many soldiers he had. The 185,000 generals, each with their own legion. And the size of the army was 400 parsa. Each parsa is 4 kilometers, which is approximately 2.5 miles. So the actual army occupied 984 miles. I mean, this is a huge, huge, massive amount of people, massive amount of weapons. Next to who? A bunch of Talmidei Chachamim. Bunch of people are learning Torah. No one has a spear. Nothing. They come to Chizkiyahu, it says, you know, they just arrived. We see them from the coastline. They just arrived. The enemy has arrived. Chizkiyahu, without a worry in the world, says, okay, goes, learns Torah. When he finishes learning, says, okay, good night, I'm going to sleep. Wait, hold on. There's 2.6 million people with blood coming down from their teeth because they're so excited about killing us tomorrow. Excited to kill us tomorrow. And their leader is worse than all of them. Sancheriv was a special type of Rasha. So Chizkiyahu says, okay, good night. Hashem says, learn Torah, He'll protect me. I did my part. I went to learn Torah. So I'm going to sleep now. It's Hashem's problem. Without a worry in the world, he goes to sleep only to wake up in the morning and find out that Hashem sent the Malach Gabriel to kill every single one of his soldiers. Malach Gabriel came and literally killed every single one of the soldiers in one swoop, without a battle, without a sword, without tanks, without a platoon of soldiers. Nothing. Simple, over, done. Who's left? Sancheriv and his 2 sons. So Sancheriv says, you know what? I think it's because we didn't give enough sacrifices to our false gods. He was an idol worshiper. So maybe I'm going to give you 2 as a sacrifice for my God. His 2 sons. He's telling his 2 sons, maybe I'm going to kill you 2 to give a sacrifice to my gods. So his 2 sons killed him. This same Chizkiyahu, Chazal says, it's not easy to get to that level of emunah, to go just to sleep after you learn some Torah, when you have 2.5 million people, bigger than the army of China. You have 2.5 million people sitting next door to you. It's not easy to get there unless you're holy. Like right now in Israel. But unfortunately in Israel, many of them think that the missiles are going to help them. Well, people think that the missiles are going to help. People think missiles are going to Iron Dome and all these things are going to help them. Only Hashem can help. If they only understood that Hashem is the boss, we'd be in a better shape.
I've heard enough. New arrival screams echoing through the hallway to know that this ain't good. Once they pass them through the infierno, they don't come back. It's enough to make you go crazy.
Do not think we fear you, Spirit. We know your power is born of evil. This is your last night in the land of the living. You understand me, malevolent demon?
There was a rich family that lived here called the Hetheringtons, and unfortunately, their daughter passed away of a heart attack inside the house. Basically, they were so devastated that they reached out to people claiming to be psychic mediums. They actually weren't psychic mediums. They opened up a total of 11 portals inside this house and invited spirits and entities from all different kinds of dimensions.
Well, I think there are certain pieces of evidence that there is an afterlife.
Resurrection of the dead is affirmed pretty clearly in the Talmud and the Midrash.
To be honest with you, to give this lecture is a nightmare. If it was up to me, I wouldn't. There's going to be some graphic details.
This place is a maze.
The person after death went to a place called Sheol.
This is by far the largest near-death experience study that has ever been conducted.
People go to a place and they experience weird things. And sometimes they actually will see a character of some type. Well, where did that come from?
I don't know why that one chain is swinging back there.
They may describe feeling profoundly peaceful, seeing a bright, warm, welcoming light. Some people describe watching doctors and nurses working on them with incredible accuracy.
Next thing I knew, I was above my body watching the operation.
How long did you feel like you were gone?
I went to a place of timelessness. And so what that means, it could have been a second, could have been 5 minutes. I don't know.
Can you imagine waking up from your sleep and not being able to move?
As I'm lying there, I realized that there's an evil presence next to me.
Do you believe that angels, demons exist?
Holy shit, dude, get out of here! Oh my god, dude!
Strange things keep happening. Bizarre nightmares, as if I'm on fire in the woods.
Whoa, what the hell is this? Man, I've got bad chest pain.
Satan's Hollow is what it's called, the portal to hell.
Some people calling it an eye of fire, while others said it looked like the portal to hell opening up.
And the next thing I know, I was outside of my body, looking at my body.
What I'm going to do is called claromancy, the art of throwing lots or throwing bones.
2,000 years of experience, passed down, recorded, of how demons work.
God has them all on a leash, and he lets the leash go enough to let them tempt us, because that's what makes us spiritually stronger.
I'm trying to be as graphic as possible so you understand what we're talking about.
It's your ticket to reality. It's your ticket to freedom. It's your ticket to immortality.
Is there an afterlife? Is there a
It's
God?
the type of information that can keep you away from the Yetzirah.
What happens to us after we die?